Today we will discover the top 10 oldest ships. Let's begin. Number 10. Syracusia. Dubbed as the grandest transport ship from ancient times, the Syracusia stands out in maritime history. An iconic Greek vessel, its immense size restricted it to a singular journey from Sicily to Egypt, where it was bestowed upon Ptolemy III. Consequently renamed Alexandria, this colossal ship's speculated capacity touched 1,800 tons, accommodating over 1,900 passengers. Syracusia, recognized as the era's Titanic, dazzled with unparalleled luxuries like wooden atlases, 8 towers, a colossal catapult, and 20 exterior oar rows. It redefined opulence with unique amenities such as recreational areas, gardens, a library, and an avant-garde bathroom equipped with hot water. Distinctively, it housed a temple dedicated to Aphrodite, catering to the devotional needs of its passengers. Split into levels, the top tiers catered to passengers, while the lower decks were reserved for soldiers and the crew. The ship showcased intricate adornments featuring ivory, marble, and mosaic illustrations, recounting the Iliad. Despite its grandeur, the fate of Syracusia remains an enigma. Number 9. Flying Cloud. The Flying Cloud stands testament to maritime prowess, etching its name by holding the fastest passage record from New York to San Francisco for over a century. Established in 1854, this record of 89 days and 8 hours, covering a staggering 16,000 miles, wasn't surpassed until 1989. Intriguingly, this feat was orchestrated under the navigation of Eleanor Creasy, a woman, which was a rarity for that era. This remarkable clipper, hailing from the docks of Donald Mackay in East Boston, Massachusetts, took to the waters in 1851. With a length of approximately 225 feet, a 41-foot beam, and a 21-foot depth, the Flying Cloud epitomized the essence of an extreme clipper. Unfortunately, its maritime journey culminated in 1874 after running aground at Beacon Island Bar, New Brunswick, eventually succumbing to flames for its valuable copper and iron. However, artful depictions immortalize its magnificence, showcasing its illustrious sails and unmatched velocity. Number 8. The Cutty Sark. Built in 1869, the Cutty Sark stands as one of the swiftest clipper ships ever constructed, marking the culmination of an era for tea clippers. Constructed in Dumbarton, Scotland, for the Jock Willis shipping line, its moniker traces back to a witch from Robert Burns's poetic tales. Throughout its life, the ship underwent various ownership changes and applications. Originally a tea trader, it shifted to wool trade until steamships dominated the Australian route. Subsequently owned by a Portuguese firm, it functioned as a cargo vessel. By 1922, retired Captain Wilfred Downman purchased and repurposed it for training. Upon his demise, it transitioned to the Thames Nautical Training College. Its ultimate resting place since 1954 has been a dry dock in Greenwich, London. As a member of the National Historic Fleet, it remains one of 3 genuine composite clipper ships globally. Number 7. The Nemi ships. The enigmatic Nemi ships were the brainchild of Emperor Caligula, a ruler with eccentric tendencies in the 1st century BC. Among the 2 ships, the larger resembled a floating palace, complete with mosaic floors, heating, plumbing, and several luxuries like baths, which were unusual for vessels of that era. It's speculated that Caligula aspired to emulate the opulence of Hellenistic rulers, seeking a floating luxury on Lake Nemi. The ships, measuring 230 by 66 feet and 240 by 79 feet, met their underwater fate following Caligula's dethronement. For nearly 2 millennia they remained submerged until Mussolini, aware of their location, commissioned the lake's drainage in 1929. Although these ships succumbed to flames during World War II, their discovery debunked the previously held belief of Romans' inability to construct vast vessels. This revelation recalibrated historians' perspective, underscoring their historical significance. Number 6. The HMS Beagle. In 1820, the HMS Beagle made its maiden voyage from the Woolwich dockyard on the River Thames. Measuring 90 feet in length and armed initially with 10 guns, this vessel might have seemed like any other. However, its claim to fame was its renowned passenger, Charles Darwin. Over a 5-year journey aboard the Beagle, Darwin engaged in groundbreaking research in various scientific domains. His explorations and discoveries laid the foundation for many theories on evolution and natural selection. His daily observations culminated in the publication of The Voyage of the Beagle. Although designed as a 10-gun brig sloop by Sir Henry Peake, post-Darwin's voyage, the Beagle journeyed to Australia, served as a static Coast Guard vessel, and eventually met its end when it was dismantled. Number 5. The Essex. The Essex, an American whaling ship launched in 1799 from Amesbury, Massachusetts, boasts a length of 87 feet. For 2 decades it sailed profitably and was deemed lucky. Yet on its last journey in 1819 under Captain George Pollard, the ship's fortune changed. Just 2 days into the expedition, a squall severely damaged the Essex. Undeterred, the crew pressed on in search of whales, but met with limited success. The journey's tragic climax occurred when a sperm whale aggressively rammed the ship, leading to its destruction. Stranded far from land, the crew's harrowing return journey became the talk of the town. This dramatic tale inspired Herman Melville's literary masterpiece, Moby Dick. Number 4. The Great Republic. In 1853, the world witnessed the launch of the largest wooden ship, the Great Republic. Not only was it record-breaking in size, but it was also the biggest full-rigged ship ever constructed in the United States. Ownership of this massive vessel changed hands multiple times before finally belonging to the Merchants Trading Company. Serving from 1854 to 1872, its journey ended tragically in a storm near Bermuda. This 4-masted medium clipper bark, stretching 334 feet in length and boasting 4 continuous wooden decks, was reputedly one of the swiftest merchant ships. While models capture its essence, seeing the ship with its expansive sails would have been truly breathtaking. Number 3. The Mayflower. The year 1620 marked a significant voyage as the Mayflower, launched in 1607, carried 102 pilgrims across the Atlantic. Anchoring at Cape Cod, Massachusetts, this Dutch cargo flute ship had an impressive length of 110 feet and 4 decks. Its design featured a pronounced bow and elevated castle-like structures, safeguarding passengers against harsh sea conditions. Nevertheless, its high aft castle posed challenges when sailing against the wind. Armed substantially, the Mayflower had various cannons and guns for defense. With 3 masts and a spirit sail, its legacy is symbolic of European colonization. Believed to be disassembled in 1624, its historical significance remains unmatched. Number 2. Viking longships. Originating from Scandinavia, Viking longships have been pivotal since the 4th century BC. Designed for speed and agility, these ships were narrow, graceful, and built for warfare and exploration. Their shallow draft allowed navigation in waters only a few feet deep, offering an advantage during beach landings. Lightweight construction meant they could be carried ashore, doubling as shelters. Interestingly, these ships had no design plans. Shipbuilders visualized based on existing ships and constructed them accordingly. Primarily made of oak due to its durability and association with Thor, a Viking deity, these ships dominated the seas for centuries, showcasing unparalleled shipbuilding techniques. Number 1. Chinese castle ships. Chinese castle ships, dating back to before the Han Dynasty, were monumental marvels. Essentially floating fortresses, they stood over 100 feet high, with usually 3 distinct floors. The first housed various rooms. The second, known as Flying Lu, had other facilities, while the topmost, the Sparrow Room, was an archer's haven and lookout point. Some exceptional ships boasted up to 10 floors. Serving as the central vessel in a fleet, these ships were equipped with siege weapons, holding up to 1,000 soldiers. Despite their grand appearance, these were not leisure vessels, but formidable military ships, reflecting ancient Chinese maritime might. Comment your favorite old ship and unleash your wanderlust by watching our latest video. Cheers!